In this segment, we will be looking at the data collection process of financial consolidation. Collection of data is done regardless of where its entities are and geography, what operating currency is in, what ERP are being used, the different chart of accounts or different business segments involved in, for example, from mining to shipping to banking. Data types, which can be both financials, example, asset revenue in dollar value, as well as statistical, such as number of employees, number of apartment units sold, and notes to the main accounts. Next, we will be looking at how data is typically collected and processed. On a scheduled time, corporate head office distributes out an Excel-based consolidation pack to its reporting entities to be filled and report back the results. Upon receiving back, corporate head office then performs all the necessary postings, adjustments, and consolidation steps in Excel worksheets. This process is manual and laborious to ensure data validations. It is repeated again if the data is revised. Depending on the volume of data to be collected, the whole process can take weeks to months to complete, as in filing the annual statutory consolidated results. This process can be automated. Data from respective ERPs can be directly loaded or via a CSV file type into a consolidation system. There will be no tedious linking, handling and checking of spreadsheets, which also means less chances of errors. Let me just show you what I mean. We are now in a consolidation system. Here I am about to import a CSV file from SAP. This file is sitting on my computer. We can open the CSV file using Notepad, and this is how it looks. CSV stands for comma separated values. Here in the first column, the value denotes the account's code, followed by a comma, and in the second column, the value denotes the description. The next three sets of values hold the amount which we normally will enter in manually for periods 1901, 1902, and 1903. In this case, it stands for year 2019, period 1, period 2, and period 3. This set of data is for the company code 300. Before we load, just to make sure there is no data, we're going to go into the entry form to make sure. Here we see there is no values for period 1901, company code 300. Let's exit by choosing another company. And returning to import the data. Now let's import the CSV. We see that 36 records were loaded. Returning to the entry form, selecting company code 300. We now see that it is populated with the values from the CSV file. You see that much time is saved by importing and less possible mistakes made as compared to manually entering the data. From the demo, you will find that the data collection is now more streamlined. Next, we will now look at the use of a lookup table where the source codes from different systems such as SAP, Oracle, or Microsoft can be mapped into the consolidation system. Let me show you just what I mean. Here in the system, we can define lookup tables to map source codes that are different to the consolidated sets of codes. For example, we have a lookup table that maps the SAP chart of accounts. In SAP, the revenue code is 411-23000, sale of residential units. This company sells properties. Will be mapped into the group chart of accounts, revenue code 40100. In this way, the full chart of accounts can then be mapped. Earlier video showing the import of data with the SAP chart of account, a lookup table such as this is used to map into the system. Now similarly, other reporting entities involved in different businesses with different codes, lookup tables are used to map into the consolidated chart of accounts in the system. Next, data can consist of both financial as well as statistical. So long as these data are captured alongside in a CSV file, it will be imported in to produce the required reports and statements. Data can also be supplemented by directly entering into the system. In the earlier video, we saw how we can import data from a CSV. We may not always have a CSV file to import. Hence, we must also be able to manually enter the data. Here we have an example where the trial balance was imported. We will need to provide the movements, notes to the main accounts. We can manually enter the data. Land remains unchanged, opening balance of 1 million. While for building, there is an addition of 300,000. Save. In this way, such a system caters to both data import as well as manual data entry. In the next video, we shall look into how compliance to the various GAPs is achieved.